WrestleMania is finally in the rear view mirror, and Smackdown had their turn to give us our post-WrestleMania tastings. And were they as good as Raw's or better? Sadly not. They weren't. It was another occasion of very little, not a lot of substance, a bit of a disappointment all round. It just didn't feel post-WrestleMania, and that's a shame. But we got a lot to talk about. We've got a little bit of time, not got enough time, too much to talk about. Let's just get straight into the Smack Attack. James McIver alongside my partner in crime, John Enright, brought to you by Channel Attitude and Hammy Media Group. How are we doing? I've actually remembered to say that for the first time ever on this podcast, by the way.
Yeah,
everyone does the brought to you by Channel Attitude and Hammy Media Group. I never do it. I just do it. Smack Attack. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go which for those of y'all wondering why James has like metal bats and he's on cocaine is because he has a hard out with a family event. So he's got the busiest fucking day I've ever heard of in my life for a Saturday. So for
a 70th birthday party as well, of all things. But basically, what I'll be doing is this, but there. Like coasting and doing that shit. Yeah. So I'll be spent the afternoon, the morning and the afternoon, setting up the venue, getting the projector set up. I hope he's not watching this. This will be a weird time for him to get into wrestling podcasts. Right?
Let me see what James is doing.
Wonder what my nephew's doing these days. Oh, okay. I'll keep that in the back. So he thinks to go. Him and his friend, they have like a joint birthday party. They're like a band. They were a 2-man band. So they think they've got a photo shoot booked for them, and they're going to go and get carried off this place. But really, all of us are going to be in this old scout hall, and it's all decked out for a party, and it's going to be pretty cool. So there's a projector. I've got my uncle from Australia. He's actually going to do a call in later in the night. 5:30 in the morning their way it's going to be. I'm like, you fucking champions.
Wow. Yeah.
So we had to coordinate a projector. There's like karaoke that's going to be going on. I'm trying to figure out what sort of like compare shit I'm going to be saying and whatnot. I've not really compared a thing before. Not that I'll have to do much, but at the same time, it's like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of doing things right, Elizabeth, first comment of the day. Congratulations. We've not done that in a while. So, yeah, a bit of a busy day for me. Unfortunately, it means we've got to do a really breakneck edition of the Smack Attack for you there.
No fluff, no muff.
No fluff.
Oh, just ripping the shit out of this piece of garbage.
Yeah, so basically, my day is effectively a mullet. Business at the front, party at the back.
Which, by the way, okay, so in case some of y'all didn't watch last week I hosted Wrestlers for WrestleMania, the Savage Gentleman and Lady Frost, which is a lot of fun. So, of course, we were at WrestleCon for multiple times, as well as doing wrestling shows. One of the greatest things we talked about at WrestleCon was watching late 60s, early 70s-year-old Ricky Morton running around with
God,
beautiful mullet. Like we were there, like we literally just missed him and Ric Flair locking up on the WrestleCon floor. So like we were literally downstairs watching the USA versus the World WrestleCon show, and like all of a sudden we get a tweet and we all look at it and it's Ricky Morton with that beautiful blonde mullet locking up with Ric Flair upstairs, like right where we were. We're like, oh Jesus Christ, we could have been there live, you know. And this is after April Hunter coming in and doing the run-in for the Hobby Media Group Awards. Which by the way, I never got a picture with her the whole fucking time. I should have got a picture with her, and I didn't even think about it.
Literally, she was right there.
Well, here's the problem though. She waited so long to get on the show. Like, I knew she had probably other stuff to do, and she was just kind of waiting. And you know, I felt really bad because I was like, yeah, they're talking, and I thought maybe they would bump us up because she was on the show waiting. But they kept going, and then Billy Ray does the run in, and I was like, oh no! Like,
doesn't help that the order changed at one point. I was just like, wait a minute, I'm not first. What's going on?
It would have been nice if I'd have been first because I had April, and I didn't want to like keep her too long, but she finally did.
Well, that's what I thought was going to happen when you had it ready. I was like, go first. Yeah,
you know, and I was like, ooh.
Because like, not to really cut in too much, but like I was sitting here quick. This is probably my sort of intro was a bit breakneck speedy when I came in because I was just like from across the pond. Oh fuck! Okay, hi, how are you? So that's why I was probably the quickest like in out award.
Which I appreciated because I was like, okay, they got it. So you know. And And then there's that awkward moment of I don't know when I'm supposed to like kick off.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
like, because Ray is on there, and I'm like, should I don't know if they're going to ask me questions about WrestleCon or whatever anymore. So I'm just kind of like, and then I'm just like, all right, fine, I'll just
yeah, I had a bit of that as well. I was sitting on the chat. I was like, no one's booted me yet. What's going on? Like, I was saying, there's no chance I've won anything, but I'm still in the chat. What's going on? I didn't win anything.
No, I mean, I knew I wasn't going to win either, but
yeah. Spoiler alert if no one's watched the Hammies episode yet. Yeah. But it was a good weekend though, WrestleMania. Really fun weekend. We had the Hammies. Night 2 WrestleMania. Wow. Lived up to expectations quite nicely.
I mean, honestly, night 1 was good too, especially because they did a match for Austin, not a and like I said, I thought if they were going to close with a KO show, and I've heard a lot of people say this, that should have started it, but they didn't. They did it as an actual match. So what a way to end the night.
Makes sense.
The
way I put it was
the next night. So
the way I thought of it was night 1 had the best wrestling, but night 2 had the most fun.
Yeah.
I think that's the way I'd like to think about it. There was so much fun stuff that happened on night 2. Like, we'll get into it a little bit later on when we talk to Sami Zayn, but that Sami Zayn Knoxville match.
Well, and I mean, Stone Cold, go out your way. Austin Theory, and then Pat, and then Mr. McMahon, and then Stone Cold, and I mean that whole business right there. Pat McAfee, what a fucking treasure! Like not only on commentary, but in the match, and then taking the stunner and just keep spitting the beer as he falls down. Just fucking brilliant.
And it's when he's outside the ring, lying on his back, he's still like pouring the beer.
Pouring another one in. But holding that spray the entire time he's falling down. I mean, just really,
he said he didn't know what was going to happen. He was aware. See if that's true. I'd be buzzing for him.
There's no way that you're all of a sudden going to not get that you're going to take a stunner. I mean, there's no way.
Yeah.
But still, genius. It was brilliant. And he did a great job. And then so we have this buzz from WrestleMania, and then fucking Smackdown happened. And
Raw happened first. That made me worry.
I didn't even bother. Again, I mean, it's become one of those things where like I know it's Raw after WrestleMania, but I watched the highlights on their own YouTube channel, and I'm going, the fuck. Like,
it was such a waste of time. And then unbelievable.
And then you had tonight was just awful.
It was the same. It was like Raw ran back in a weird way. It was like you could almost follow it beat for beat, almost what happened for a lot of the show.
Well, look who we have here. Sonic the Hedgehog made it. I said, did you get my tweak, Sonic? And yes, I do agree. We do have a new national treasure, Nick Aldiskin show. Yeah, Elizabeth. At least Veer showed up.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
It looked good. I was buzzing for him. I was like, one Veer.
Yeah,
I'm up for whatever he does. I'm really waiting for it. But yeah, I suppose we should really get to SmackDown. My time's very limited today.
Your time is limited. Let's go.
But it wasn't a good SmackDown all round. Bit of a boring one. It really was a disappointing, boring, flat, empty, heartless show. Yeah. All of those adjectives fit on the bill. Nothing really typifies this more than the opening promo tonight. Caleb Braxton's like, "Hello, everyone. Welcome to SmackDown." After it's like, okay, I'm liking this. She's getting the crowd going. She's getting them exercise. And welcome to the ring, Ronda Rousey.
Fuck me.
Game over. I was like, I'm lying there like 1 a.m. I was like, I can't sleep. I'm just going to watch this until I fall asleep. It's like, okay, interesting. So there's something interesting going to happen. Maybe a debut. Maybe Cody Rhodes is going to come again just to kind of fill up the space between Raw and SmackDown. I don't know. Something nice might be happening. Ronda Rousey. No. And my worst fears were kind of confirmed when that Rousey. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what you say about that.
Fucking awful promo.
Hot garbage. It was in the nicest way. What's going on? Like, I'll get to the crux of this promo.
She is really just at the point now. Just let me finish what I got to do and get the fuck out of here.
It's phoned in so badly. It's like, I get you might not be happy about the current situation here, but come on, man. You're professional. You're getting paid a lot of money to come on national TV. Fucking make an effort. If I'm Vince or if I'm like Nick Khan, I'm losing my head. I'm going bananas. I'm like, nah, fuck off. I'm not having that. I honestly, cut her. I just like, no, if that's how you're going to be, we're putting all this money to invest in this to try and get us going. You're really damaging us. Go away. If you need another break, take another break. We'll get someone else in. You know, we'll get Bailey back. We'll get Rhea Ripley, move her over. We'll get Liv Morgan onto SmackDown and feud her with Charlotte Flair for a bit. We'll find someone. That is just disrespectful. It was that's how I found it. It was like she came in, phoned it in. I should be excited for what's coming up at Backlash. I really should be. But Labrat, good comment here. I can see. There we go. Ronda Reed's acting classes badly.
Yeah.
And also,
Elizabeth also makes a good point. Can we get her a manager?
Oh, absolutely.
Just Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, that shit.
Or what's his name? Malcolm Bivens. That's on NXT right now.
Yeah.
Get him in. Oh boy, get him up there. That'd be quality. I don't know. There's loads of names you could bring up and just have her pair up with Shayna Baszler and let Baszler do the talking.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, why not?
Man, it's anybody else.
I mean, they teased that at the Rumble. They kind of teased it at the Rumble that her and Baszler were going to join together, but they haven't done it. And so
Robert Stone, who's he?
Yeah, I mean,
get anyone that can talk. You can just let him have that sort of thing going on. But hey ho, it was all this terrible promo led to the challenge of an I Quit match at WrestleMania Backlash, which we thought should have been the WrestleMania match anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they were building that the whole fucking time, and they didn't do it. I'm like, oh my god, really?
I hate that about that match as well. It wasn't a good match to begin with, but it's the fact that it was like it was used as a device to move the story on rather than put a full stop on it, and then maybe you could have a rerun of it. But because it was so screwy, you're like, we're having more of this.
Yeah,
I don't like the WrestleMania. I don't like those kinds of TV match finishes.
Right.
Time and a place for them. If you wanted Charlotte to win, fair enough. And I like those sort of moments, but not the way to do it.
Yeah.
But even Charlotte's promo wasn't all that great either. Sort of saying I never tapped, and it's just generic. That's all I can really say about that. I don't really have much else to add about it because I was just unamused.
And Sonic Tick makes a good point here. How Logan Paul gets it better than Ronda, and he's only had one match. I mean, the guy gets it. He's an entertainer, and of course, at the same time,
goes to Puerto Rico to train.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he not only does he get it sports entertainment wise, he gets it in the ring. That was, I mean, probably other than Pat McAfee, the best entertainer, non-wrestler to have a match. I mean,
brilliant.
It was impressive.
I can't stand the guy, but he had such a great go at WrestleMania. And then even how it finished, I was like, I liked that.
Yeah.
But
we talked even still, it's like, because you wanted to see him get his ass kicked. So in a way, he kind of did. And he kind of got punched in the face. But the fact that he gets it where you hate him, and he did everything to make you just want to see him get, and then in a way, you still get it because his partner gives it to him. It's like his partner couldn't even stand him enough to where he gives him a skull-crushing finale. Now, I did hate that he kind of no-sold it and then rolls over and says, "What the fuck?"
Like, a bit of a weird one.
yeah, but I mean, I get it at the same time too. The dude's a boxer, and he,
that's going on to news channels and entertainment things. People are going to see that, so that makes a bit of sense. I'll give him that due.
Yeah, so
I think the other thing is that I think he just was expecting to get booed anyway. He knows his position in the world of like entertainment and media and how people look at him and perceive him. So he's like, I'm just gonna have fun with it. Fuck it, you know what I mean? Whereas Ronda Rousey, for whatever reason, can't.
Yeah,
she's got this in her head that she has to be a certain way, and then when it doesn't pan out how she wants it, we get like what we got tonight. It's phoned in. It really is. And, I hope they have it doesn't help when you've got Charlotte and Rousey. Charlotte, who's had a bit of a record recently of not being the best person to work with recently,
right? And
then you've got Rousey being Rousey. It's like, man, this is just a hodgepodge of things we don't need right now. Exactly. I hope Backlash comes in quickly and get it out of the way.
Yeah,
don't need that.
When is it? When is it? Is it like 2 or 3 weeks away?
24th, is it?
Is it?
Or is it next month? I think it's the 24th or 20th. It's either 24th or it's the next.
I don't care. I didn't even know what the next pay-per-view
one.
was, honestly. It's just
I
like,
suppose we'll get there. We'll get there when we come to it.
Yeah.
Got a debut match coming up though.
Yep.
Fucking Butch against Xavier Woods.
Except Pat McAfee called him Pete. So
yeah,
I mean, the slip of the tongue there. I mean, granted, he was. You know, they were paired together for a little bit in NXT, so I get that. It's
callback, but
again, it's just why WWE. Which I mean, okay, let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it now because we're gonna. I don't want to save it for later. You have established characters in your own universe. Pete Dunne, call him Pete and bring him up to be Fight Night. That's still a great name. You have fucking Walter, who's you call Gunther now, and then you have Martel Bartel, who now is Kaiser, whatever Kaiser. What the fuck? Why are you changing the names of your own established stars? It's not like you are changing the name of an independent person. You're changing the name of a person who's been in your fucking organization for 4 years.
No, what makes it better though, like the Walter thing, especially, right? Is
everybody's chanting Walter.
You're chatting Walter, and then you had like Pat McAfee and Michael Cole like, some Gunther chats going on. Like, no,
they have to know selling. They have to know selling. That was the funny part. Yeah,
it's like my ears were not deceiving me. I heard Walter.
Yeah, and then yes, of course, Raquel Gonzalez to Raquel Rodriguez. I mean,
what's even the need?
I don't understand. Again, it's like you didn't change the first. You didn't give her completely. You just kind of changed the last name to a different Hispanic last name because it's Vince. Wait, he wants the alliteration. He wants the RR. That's what it is. He wants the RR. And so,
it doesn't even fit her. I mean, I suppose it kind of works because she's Hispanic. She's got a nice bit of twang about her. And when she spoke Spanish, like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, from Texas, again, another Texas-born superstar.
But these are like weirdly unnecessary steps, especially when it would be so bad if it was like, say, I don't know, pick a AEW name for some reason. I don't know.
I mean, well, there's, I don't know.
What's his name that's just paired up with Moxley and Daniel Bryan?
Wheeler Yuta?
Wheeler Yuta, right? He comes to WWE. Okay, Wheeler Yuta, maybe not the most brilliant name. We'll change his name. Fit him into WWE more. Fine. That's okay. But say when you've got someone in your roster, you've had them there for at least 5 years, maybe on like the NXT side of things. This is the other weird thing that I've started doing. I don't know if you noticed it. It was more during the Raquel Gonzalez thing. It was like this new superstar. So we're just ignoring the fact that NXT is on national TV, right?
Right.
That's not a thing. But that's out the way. It's non-factor.
It's developmental. Let's be honest. It's
But then at the same time, it's like, why not just have, if you're going to have it on national TV, you got to accept that people are going to know who this person is eventually. Right. So why make the effort to change it? It seems like such a weird, redundant step to me.
Yeah, and Media 5, yes, that's a Vince thing. He likes that alliteration of the same same names and stuff like that. You see a lot with different people. And then the Latin lovers they come out with this whole thing and they're
denied hard as well.
Yeah, which because by the way, she's dating Adam Shear, formerly known as Braun Strowman.
Is she?
Oh, they have been together. She puts out TikToks about how she wants to fuck him and shit. Like they're at the gym working out and like, ooh, I want that man meat and like stuff like that. Like they have apparently been together for a little while, and so they are together. According to
there you go.
And everything.
All those folk in the Hammy Media group and the Facebook page, and they give him it tight for the costumes he wears for Halloween and shit. And there you go. He got a prize out of that. What are we doing?
He was with Camille for a little while before they broke up.
Yeah. See, so you can slag him all you want, but he's doing all right for himself. All right, let's just be fair.
He's doing all right for himself. He's pulled some hot chicks. Let's be honest. He's pulled some hot chicks. So yeah. I mean, but this is where I don't understand WWE, their thought process, their marketing. It's almost like now they're saying fuck NXT. It really looks like they're saying fuck NXT because we're bringing these guys up and we're not even bothering to keep.
I worry for like Tommaso Ciampa coming up now. I'm like,
is he? Is he? Is he like?
Well, he's rumored to be part of Edge's stable.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Damian
I didn't hear
Priest
that.
and Rhea Ripley with Rhea Ripley and Tommaso Ciampa are names that have been thrown about.
I've heard Rhea
Yeah, I've heard that.
Ripley you maybe going to join that, but at the same time too, I would keep that small. You know,
Yeah.
I would keep that. Like I would say, maybe you have Damian Priest, maybe you add a female, and that's about it. I would not keep it. Maybe one more person, maybe, and then you got that.
Keep
There
it
you go.
simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
But
But
anyway, that's my rant for the night, because here's the thing. Here's my other problem. We had the Lacey Evans thing, which that's how they should have presented her in the
oh
first
my
place.
god, this promo, by the way, go out your way and
Yeah,
watch it. Go out of
yeah,
your way to watch that. Is for
watch
me,
it.
it was the best part of SmackDown
It
by a
was
long, long way.
long, and that's how they should have done that shit in the beginning, especially for someone like me who was like, "Fuck yeah, man!" I mean, you had to go through some stuff, going through shelters and doing the things you do, and then being a fucking Marine. Hell yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, because she was already she couldn't do both roles because she had that Marine background, but she's trying to be that evil heel, Southern Belle
Yeah,
bullshit, and it just go with it. And they finally have, and thank God, because this is someone who could go after Charlotte. This is
yes.
someone who could do that, and now you have her in the right role to really make Charlotte look like a piece of shit, especially because of the character she's not playing a character anymore. She's playing herself jacked up to 11, which is way better. And now this is what they should have done to begin with.
I'm sold on her from like out the gate, and we've talked about so many talents have come back or had promos and done this and that, and we're like, I don't know. But this one sold instantly. I'm like, I know we've seen it before in the ring. She's not the greatest in the ring. She might be a lot better now since she's had some time off. But that unbelievable. The fact she goes, okay, let's go. It's just like saying herself. It's like that's the contrast we're looking at here as well, folks. Is like you look at the Ronda Rousey promo at the start of the night and how bad that was, objectively bad that was, and here we are with Lacey Evans doing probably the best promo she's ever done. It's shocking. It's ridiculous the difference, and it's so simple as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a simple detail, and it's just like here's Rousey not even trying, and here's Lacey Evans just being natural.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. It's like she's been very natural doing this, which is great, and it was lovely. It was a really good promo. Even I was going fucking USA by the end of it, because she hit the right notes. Talked about her childhood, and it's really, I was kind of, when she's going to bring up the military thing, and she brings it up at a really good time, sort of hits it point to many people that she's a mom. She's went through a lot of stuff. She's not been entitled. She's not had like entitled background. She's not been put through life of money and things like that. She had to work her way up, have a young family, go to the military and work her way up that way. Like
she's already told the opposite story of Charlotte Flair.
Yeah,
she's already set up to be that anti-Charlotte Flair, the opposite of that. Still blonde-haired, blue-eyed, beautiful, buxom lady, but the complete opposite. Now you've got a natural-built story for Charlotte and her to feud, and it's now the haves versus the have-nots, the blue collar versus the white collar. I mean, all that, and so it is that. I really enjoyed it. Now, Media 5 says it came across as a Save the Children's advert. I don't think so. I think I get it, but here's the thing: she's trying to tell a story. She's telling her real story, and if you've read about her real story, it's pretty tough. She's
been through it.
She's been through it. But that's the whole point of it, is that we need this is who we need to right now, especially to combat Charlotte. This is that person that is going to, I could see take the belt off Charlotte, if we need to, if we get down the road, build, chase, finally get that
SummerSlam
moment. Yeah, I say
sounds
SummerSlam.
about right.
Give that moment to her that you have. Think about it. SummerSlam, flag behind you, patriotic fireworks,
summertime.
F-18s flying overhead, as she's won the title, kind of thing. It writes itself, really. Again, again, WWE takes things that think they could be super complex, just make it simple. Make it simple, and the simple things sometimes are the best things. They sell the best. And so I know we've kind of jumped out of order here with all this, but like that's the whole purpose, is they're doing these complicated things when they take just this
They keep it simple
and make it something like, oh, that's all we needed to do. Oh shit, and it's that's kind of where I'm at with this. But yet then you fuck up people's names and you do all this bullshit. I mean, again, this match with Butch, I know we're supposed to be talking about it, but it was
didn't
just
even
a match.
win this match, by the way.
No,
didn't even win it.
On a roll up. I mean, it's
reset.
And then
reset that match, son.
And it is one of those things where, like, and then he goes off on the rest of his guys because he's just so ready to fight.
Yeah, I was kind of like, whoa, he just sticks right into Ridge Holland.
Yeah,
he's the fuck out. We're like, whoa, okay.
I know, and he's the smallest of the group. He's the smallest.
And then he set him up on the top rope.
I know, right?
Stop doing that. Behave yourself, young man. It's like fucking naughty stepped him on top turnbuckle.
Oh,
it was so weird.
Yeah, I know. It just, I did like the intro, like, oh, what night is it? What night is it? It's fight night.
Night.
Yeah. And then I will admit, I like that backstage look kind of thing that they did. And then it just went downhill from there. It really did.
Good nitty promo, I think. Bit of a stretch. I had to work about hard to make it make sense. Like, we won at WrestleMania a few years ago. Woohoo! Like, good for you. What was that? Elizabeth, it's not a roll up, it's a backwards now. That's not a thing, is it? That can't be the thing.
Why not at this point? WWE's just doing all kinds of shit now.
Oh God. I was gonna make a page joke there, but I won't do that.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. But we'll push on because we've got a lot of things. Sami Zayn challenging Drew. Well, wants a challenge after the Knoxville things. He challenges Drew McIntyre.
Well, no, he doesn't challenge Drew McIntyre. He says whoever walks out of that locker room with Adam Pearce and fucking Drew McIntyre walks out.
Jesus. Fair play. He's going to take it on the chin though. But we'll come back to that. Ludwig Kaiser.
That's what it is.
Marcel Barthel. Which is really weird. He announces Gunther to the ring, and they walk down. Gunther just wrecks a jobber, Joe Alonso.
Yeah,
who I thought done a pretty good job, all things considered. Like, you could bring someone in from outside, and it could go pear-shaped. But this lad was throwing himself all over the shop for I'm going to say Walter because it sounds better. It makes more sense to me. But like, throws himself all over. Like, with the points where he's like throwing him over the ring. These clotheslines, the boots, the slaps. There's like a point where he grabs him by the head. I think it's outside the ring. He does it. He grabs him by the head and throws him around and through the ropes. I was like, man, that's so smooth. That was so smooth. So fair play to the guy. I mean, just got beat down. There's not much else to add to it.
Shots from Walter, which is
which I don't think were appreciated enough. I think we should have had more time from the crowd to the Big Show. They would shh.
Yeah,
and then hear the slap, because see if you get the right slap from him. Oh, he can make a slap happen.
Oh,
like,
my God.
He's got power in that hand. My favorite slap I've ever seen was him on Will Ospreay at a WCPW event.
Yes.
And was it Will Ospreay or was it Jack Sabre? And he just flat back straight away.
I thought that was Ospreay. It was like,
it might have been Ospreay, because he just go boom and he goes flat on his back instantly, like so fast, and the crowd just like fuck. Because probably just destroyed his chest.
Oh my God, no doubt. I mean, there's so many people that have posted post-match Walter chops where his handprint is on their chest. It just takes up their whole chest almost. I mean, the dude is, that's the thing. I don't know. But again, this was a enhancement match. We see it. He does his business, and so. But then,
I'm just worried.
Again, this is not like they haven't flirted with it before, where they brought him up and then kind of he went back down for a minute, because they've had him on SmackDown before, but now he's Gunther and he's got Ludwig Kaiser and whatever.
Yeah, Lab Pratt with a great comment here. Surprised they didn't add that Carter kid with Kaiser and Gunther.
Which
Nine.
that whole story is a mess. It's just a
it's a total minefield to walk through.
I mean, here's me, and then of course this is the worst part is me, a sexual assault and domestic violence advocate, and I'm hearing the stories like, okay, well, we're told believe victims, but then there's the whole minefield of that. Oh my God, we're just Candace Spaceman. We should have a Betty poll if one or if one of the or both the guys are on screen not wearing any pants because I'm half naked.
I'm wearing shorts.
I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah. Can I get my leg up? There we go. Oh, I can't. Oh God. Hang on. Oh. Well,
come on. I'm an old man of 43. You can get that shit up there.
I'm so short. Something's gonna break here. Something's gonna break here.
James, you're gonna.
There we go.
Yeah.
I just crushed my pinky finger as well.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I stood up like the side of my chair, just went into the table. I'm like, oh! I don't know if you can see the sort of.
Oh, poor baby.
Oh, fuck that up good and proper.
Oh. Yeah, but no, and I will say this: Walter has looked a lot better. I mean, he looked a lot. Someone Elizabeth does make the good point. He's lost weight and looks better, so Vince will like him better. And I mean, Walter does. He looks a lot slimmer, a lot.
He looks old,
but he does. He does look old. He does, and so what's going to happen? Because Martel and Eichner were part. They were in the middle of that NXT tag match stuff, and now with releasing Nash Carter, and then the tag titles are up for grabs, as they say now. What does I mean, you just kind of fucked yourself storyline there. So
unbelievable.
I don't know.
It's Fabian Eichner getting chucked as well, which makes no sense to me either. It's like, if you were going to bring up Imperium, why not bring up all of them? How dare you? Well, you know what? I'm actually signing up to this thing where it's like a 6-a-side football, but it's like a Weight Watchers version of 6-a-side football. So you go in, you get set up with a team, and the idea being is you weigh in before the game, and then seemingly if your team's done well, you've all lost weight. If you're the most successful team before the game and losing your weight before the match, it gives you an advantage. Or it gives you like extra points in the league, so it gives you incentive to like lose weight every week. So yeah, I'm planning. I've got a lot of weight to shift, so I'm gonna. So yeah, don't worry, and I'll probably get back on the SRF. I've got my bands kicking about somewhere. It's a really good workout, by the way. If you haven't done it before, like sign up to the Stevie Richards.
It's great. I have
quality.
It's
really good,
especially during the pandemic when the gyms weren't open, or if I've got stuff where I've got to work out, but I don't have the time sometimes to run all the way down to the gym, I will, do SRF that way. It's really great stuff. So, it's definitely worth it. It's Chandler's side self promo for our stablemate, Stevie Richards and Stevie Richards Fitness. But, again, it did what it did supposedly to get Walter and them over. Why you don't bring all of Imperium up, I don't know. Why they're fucking around with this again, I don't know, because again, this is WWE. We don't, it just is weird not to have the whole of Imperium up and doing all that. So, it's
just not the same.
It's whatever. It's whatever at this point. Yeah. Hey, what happened to Timothy Thatcher? Did they cut him? I mean, because he was in NXT, right?
I think he did get cut. I don't know. I've not seen him for ages.
I haven't either.
Anywhere right now.
I don't know. Who knows? He's sleeping with the fishes. Who knows? Yeah. But then, so that's that. That's that match. What's next?
Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. Not the greatest match. Not a quick match. Not too bad. Count out finish. Sami Zayn. Like, that's all it took. It was a count out finish. We're getting this match again next week. That's that's all we got from that one. Man, this is how breakneck we're getting here. Sasha Banks versus Liv Morgan. Somehow trying to justify Monday. Right. So I wanted to bring this up right on this show, so we talk about this match. Sasha Banks, Liv Morgan, not the greatest match. Liv Morgan won. It was, I'll say it's not the greatest. It was actually pretty good for the time they had. It was a pretty good match. Both of them done really well. My problem being is on commentary, Mick Cole's like, "You two are going to have your work cut out for you on Monday." It's like they literally beat them on Monday.
Yeah,
literally beat them on Monday. But that's the thing is, they had a contenders match. I don't know if you were aware of this. People in the chat will be. They had a contenders match on Monday Night Raw between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley against the champions, Sasha Banks and Naomi, and the champions won. Now, normally, if that's my understanding, is if you lose that match, then you're not really a contender.
Right.
You're not
go back to the line. Yeah.
Rhea Ripley tees breaking up with Liv Morgan, walks away. 10 minutes later, it's fine. Don't worry. I've asked the people in charge. We're getting a title match next week. How the fuck does that work? So, I suppose in a weird way of when they realised their mistake, they had this match on SmackDown to have Liv Morgan beat Sasha Banks clean as a whistle. Yeah, is what it is. I just don't understand. We're getting to the point where Rhea's breaking up with Liv Morgan and joining Edge. I think that's what
you think. Of course, but I mean, we don't have any tag teams. That's the problem. I mean, you're cutting them already, and they've barely been a.
Well, I suppose they're setting up. Yeah, they're setting up Natalia and Shayna Baszler because they were watching this match with a keen eye. So I reckon that's that's the feud. I think it's going to be, which should be good. I think it'll be quite a nice little.
But Liv won, so that gives them the title shot again, I guess, on Monday, and then. So then to cover that fuck up from Monday must have been.
Yeah.
So Liv wins, and then now they have a title shot on Monday, and then you beat them again, and
they're going to lose again. I think Rhea's just going to turn on Liv halfway through the match.
I don't know. I don't know.
Fuck ever.
Yeah.
Fuck ever.
I don't know. It's
also
they've just formed, and they're kind of they're not. It's not like they have been around for very long. So I don't understand that aspect of it, and then you're going to break them up. But whatever.
We should take a moment to appreciate Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley's costumes at WrestleMania as well.
Yes.
Well done.
Salute. Yeah.
The dads were happy. The dads were happy.
Yes, I was. So we done that.
And just like that, I did say this was going to be a breakneck review of because it's my fault basically. But here we are. The ending segment of the night, and if you watched Raw, you watched 90% of this promo because fuck me dead. It was basically the same thing. So the night after Raw, Roman Reigns comes out, brags about beating Brock Lesnar, and says, "Okay, SmackDown's when we're going to reveal the next stage of the plan." SmackDown comes. We have almost exactly the same promo. Difference being is the next stage hasn't got fuck all to do with Roman Reigns because his shoulder's humped and he's never going to say it is, but it's humped. Did you see that photo that came out the night after WrestleMania? Oh, it's bad. I was trying to work out when he'd done it. People think it was the Kimura, but it wasn't. It was like a suplex. I think he went weird on a suplex because you see him just like.
I think he laid his shoulder first on a suplex.
Yeah, because you just see him just kind of like lean on it. And it's like, that was the point there.
Yeah.
He's a beast though, because he just kept going with that.
Yeah.
We've seen wrestlers when Finn Balor had that match with Seth Rollins, and he broke his not broke it, but he dislocated his shoulder, much like what Roman Reigns just done, and he couldn't even lift his arm to do this. Roman Reigns, who's probably dislocated his shoulder or done something to it, you can see him grimace when he tries to lift up the belts, but he's like. There we go. As soon as he gets up there, he's not moving. He's like, he held those belts up. Yeah. He held them up like an absolute boss. Like, I think that's why he was, when he lifted them up the first time, that's why he was screaming because, like that. Like, and it's so funny because if you look closely at the ending shot when he's holding it on the stage, if you just look at his eyes, he's like he's left his body. He's leaving his body so he can do this. I mean, don't think about the pain. Just ease it. We had sweat coming off him.
So last weekend there was a match watching. He a local guy, Aaron Mercer, kind of he'll do wrestling, but he's also a little bit of a death match guy. He's wrestling this dude T-Ray, who's a big dude. In the middle of the match, fucking dislocates his shoulder, puts it back in, and finishes the match.
Jesus.
Just there are clips, you watch it, his shoulder's out, you see it, and he goes, pump, pops it back in, and then finishes the match with that. And I'm going, okay, tip my hat to you, sir. That's a fucking. And then he still had 2 more matches later that night. So that's the whole point.
Did he work the other 2 matches?
Yeah, because here's the thing. Yeah, so where they were at, they had shows almost all day at that venue, and he was on all of them. And so, yeah, he had other matches that night. Fucker put in work. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't following Aaron Mercer on your social medias, go follow him. Tell him I told you to come say hey, and that, respect to him for putting in some of that stuff this weekend because just popping your shoulder out, putting it back in, finishing the match, and then doing other matches.
That's paid.
That is legit. So that's shout out to Aaron Mercer, New Texas Pro Wrestling, our boy Kiefer Bartek. He's kind of synonymous with that one. So go check it out. And then it is so to see Roman do that, and then especially with Aaron's a tall guy, he's not a built guy, but to see Roman having to do that, and when you're built like that, and you're not as flexible, trying to get something like that done, that's even worse because you're fighting the muscles and everything and the tendons, and good Lord. So respect to Roman Reigns for that, but man, this shit at the end was the shits.
To get to the point of it was Roman Reigns brags about this, turns to the Usos and says, all I saw myself with 2 titles, but all I could see were you 2 with 2 titles. It was like, that makes no sense grammatically. I know what he's trying to say. A belt each to a belt each, but at the same time, I was like, he's got 2 belts. Like, oh, that doesn't sound right. So he wants the Usos to go to Raw and win the Raw tag titles, which will probably happen because why not? Why not? I suppose.
Go for it.
Go for it. Give RKO Bro a good feud for the next wee while. I'm okay with this.
So real quick, Canada Spaceman does this. So ignores that Jericho was the first. Yes, because he's deep into AEW. So they're not going to acknowledge Jericho. They've
also didn't acknowledge that Brock Lesnar was the first one, the other one to do it.
Yeah.
No, it was Brock Lesnar was the other one to unify them. It was Orton. It was Orton that was the next one to do it.
But this was the first time done at WrestleMania. That was the and so that's that they've merged titles before where they've had the 2 titles. Jericho was the first to do it. I think Orton was the next one, but this is the first time it's done at WrestleMania. So there's your distinction. Yeah,
big deal.
The most stupidest WrestleMania, as we've called it.
And then to close the night, the challenger for Roman Reigns is next. Shinsuke Nakamura comes out. Before he even says a word, Roman's like, don't worry, I know how you feel. I get it. I understand. Hugs him. Bit of a weird move. Yeah. And I was watching the clip of this, right? My girlfriend was in the room, and she was like, he hugs him, was like, watch this. He's about to get roadhoused. I was like, what the fuck are you talking? Sure enough, Roman Reigns takes a step back, and within a split second, the Usos super kick. It's like, see? I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
she doesn't even watch this. She saw it come.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I figured that was coming. But, Pat McAfee does throw out a super kick party. He does mention that on which I was like, okay, interesting.
Get the lawyers.
Yeah. I mean, all right. But, you knew, I mean, again, the setup was a little weird in that sense, but at the same time too, it was that he's going to hug him and then suplex him, or what's he going to do? Something was going to happen to Shinsuke.
Get his boyos on it.
And it was weird in the sense of like, so you're making the assumption that Shinsuke is going to be the guy to come after Roman. Yeah. I thought the whole point wasn't Cody supposed to be on the show until I kind of...
William Alicia was messaging saying he was supposed to be, but I just didn't see it happen. I couldn't see it happening. I was just like, it would make no sense. Well, it would make sense, but I think they're quite keen on keeping Cody on Raw. I think that's the...
Yeah.
So if Raw's got Cody, we've got Ronda. Damn. The trade-off's not good there.
No. I mean, but I thought, from my understanding, he was supposed to be on the show to maybe address Roman Reigns. But
I thought he was going to address the injury, maybe take some time off, maybe disappear for a little bit, but he never done any of that. Nakamura coming out, I don't know, is Nakamura the right choice as a opponent? Could you not have put Nakamura with Sami Zayn and rekindled that feud a little bit. There's a lot of
Maybe.
history in there and had some great matches, and then bring Drew onto Roman, but then because again, another big guy, but do you want to protect Drew a little bit? I don't know. There's so many dilemmas on it, but I suppose he was the most fitted one because he had nothing left after Boogs got injured. He got injured for having too much muscle, by the way.
And
that was the thing. He came. I couldn't believe he said when he came out, I was like, yeah, basically I had too much muscle. My tendon couldn't take it. I was like, fucking hell.
You're on fucking steroids, and that's what happens.
He's on something. That's what he is.
He's on the fucking gas.
But yeah, so Nakamura coming out, getting super kicked. Fuck, that was the end of SmackDown. An uneventful show. We managed to ping through this about 45 minutes. I'm not excited for anything SmackDown.
No, they did nothing. They did not. They took all the momentum from WrestleMania and fucking tanked it.
This is it. How dare they give us a WrestleMania like that? And this is the Raw and SmackDown we get after that. How dare they? The nerve and audacity that they think they could get away with this. Fucking no. Boo. Boo this show. Boo. Heavy. That is just, come on, boys. Like, you had one job. Like, the week after WrestleMania, we just want a bit of a kickstart, a bit of an upbeat moment, some good flashback moments. Like Cody Rhodes had a good promo on Raw, cried over his dad. And that was it. Got heel after that. No like big shot returns. Nothing that we weren't expecting or of importance or of any importance that they wanted you to feel anyway. Yeah, bit of a throwaway SmackDown.
Yeah, it was bad. It was, again, it's like, why am I here? I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest. We're opening up the backstage a little bit. I am very thankful that last night I was watching Randy Rogers do a concert and watching Texas country music, doing that rather than having spent 2 hours of my time doing this. And let's put it this way. I did see some of the clips from last night's Rampage. Holy fucking shit.
There's some wrestles going on there.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Trent Bryan Danielson match, and then Wheeler Yuta and fucking John Moxley put on one hell of a match.
Yeah, I mean, that'll do it for you.
Dude, I'm telling you, you watch that comparative to SmackDown, and you're like, what the hell? It's almost like AEW was coming off a WrestleMania event, not WWE. You know, it's just going, I'm going, how? I mean, that Rampage show is what SmackDown should have been. That's what it should have been. You know, we come out fresh, new, we have new things, and we step on the gas, and they fucking ran the thing into a fucking wall. Yeah. It was it. I mean, it's just like, oh my God. So, I mean, Wheeler Yuta wearing that crimson mask, I mean, just wiping the blood all over his body and then getting the handshake from William Regal at the end. Time. Just fucking awesome. Just really was. You know, it was so good. The storytelling that they've done with that. And they've done it pretty much all in the ring. That's the whole point. They're not having to rely on these bullshit promos or, you know, all this other stuff. They're doing it in the ring. And that's where it is. You know, I will agree with Elizabeth that, yes, there is a lot of blood, a lot of bleeding on AEW. It doesn't make it feel as special sometimes. It is, you know, I don't know. There is that kind of point. It's like, hey, let's dial some of that shit back a little bit. Let's, you know, do what we're doing. But hey, I mean, here's the other problem. ROH, right? Tony Khan owns ROH. And if you watch Supercard of Honor, every person that won is like an AEW
talent.
Yeah. The closest is Jonathan Gresham, who he's not technically, I mean, I would call him a Ring of Honor talent, you know, being the world champ. But other than that, I mean, but by the way, fucking next Wednesday, you've got Minoru Suzuki and Samoa Joe.
Jesus, man, that's going to be brutal. I mean, like, that's going to be like you need a helmet to watch it.
Yeah.
My God, that's good quality.
No shit.
Woo!
And by the way, in case the one other Mania story, I did meet and shake hands with the man Minoru Suzuki. I did take the Murder Hawk plus Murder Grandpa equals Suzuki Goon poster, and he signed it, and signed it for us, and we got pictures with him. Coolest fucking dude, even though he could barely speak English ever. Like, other than Rich Swann. Rich Swann is the coolest fucking dude ever, because I did get to take Rich Swann to his Airbnb because they were going to charge him $90 for an Uber to go 20 minutes down the road. And I said, no, dude, let me help you. I've got Frost and Gentlemen. They're on our way. You're on our way. We got you. And so the coolest conversation that we had in the car with Rich Swann, as he sat, my son sat between him and Savage Gentleman, and I have Lady Frost in the passenger seat, and we're all just having the greatest time talking music and experiences and wrestling, and how Rich Swann was talking some shit. Like, he goes, oh man, there's some stuff that they just did in like Hammerstein with ASF and some of these other things, and they did some shit that I would never do. And we all looked at it, we're like, bullshit. He goes, yeah, I fucking didn't think of it. That was my problem. I would do it, but I would, so, he's just, yeah. I was not Impact. So Canada Spaceman, I was not visible on the Impact pay-per-view. I was hanging with a bunch of wrestlers, and we were kind of in the back watching. So Savage Jet, Nick Aldis, hanging with a few people in the back row, kind of out of the spotlight a little bit, in that main ballroom area watching, because I was hanging with those guys. And just kind of being chill, just having conversations with Low-Key and Nick Aldis and Jonathan Gresham and stuff like that. Just being real chill. I didn't take pictures because I didn't want to mess with Savage Gentleman as he's trying to like build these relationships with people to work with NWA or Impact. And here I am as a fucking mark going, hey, by the way, can I get a picture? Yeah. So I'm just being chill. And a lot of times they treated me like a wrestler and just included me in the conversations. And so I was just enjoying that moment and just being super chill. Like Low-Key is talking with me and Savage Gent about wrestling psychology and just how he used to be a bouncer and how he would work his psychology with the people around him. And we were talking about stuff, and so I would ask questions and he would talk to me, and we were just having a good time. Flip Gordon and Marty the Moth, just hanging out with them, and Martin Cassius, and just having conversations and talking about funny shit. And dude, Flip Gordon is fucking hilarious, dude. I'm serious. I like what you see on TV and the show, dude. He is fucking hilarious. Like I was just like, holy shit. Like, I am not expecting some funny shit coming out of Flip Gordon's mouth. And the dude is fucking hilarious. Like, had us all rolling in stitches, and we're like, holy shit. So that was cool, yeah, I do. I do, Sonic. I should have said I'm an indie wrestler and called the Dad Bod God. But Savage would have put me over for it.
That'd be me go.
Canada Spaceman. John's the kind of guy who to give somebody a seat and then stand where free swag is given away. You're not completely wrong about that. You're not good. But I did get the picture I did get the picture with Rich Swann when dropping him off at his place, because he was super cool. He did give me a little bit of gas money, which is cool, because I was like, I don't need it, but that's cool. And then let's see, Suzuki, Jay White, Chris Bay. Chris Bay was super fucking cool. Like, he spent 20 minutes talking to my kid. Just like, hey, what do you want to do? And encourage you. Like, he's encouraging my kid to come wrestle, because Jacob is almost his height, but bigger, So he's talking about wrestling and working out, and and encouraging in what he wants to do, and asked him what he likes, and talked about anime, and they talked about anime for a little bit, and then what he wants to do when he grows up. And Jacob's thinking about joining a trade, and he's like, "Oh, that's awesome, man! We need trade workers, and you're gonna make some money doing that, and then maybe you could do wrestling on the side." And like, he just kept pitching wrestling, and letting Jacob do his thing. And so, super cool dude. Jay White, same thing. Meeting Jacob, super cool. Met a lot of really cool people, just this weekend, getting to know them, and it was cool treating people like people. And yeah. ain't gonna be telling stories about him not giving you gas money. Well, I mean, I wouldn't. I didn't expect it. I wasn't gonna take it, but he was very insistent, and so I took it just because it wasn't a big deal. But he was super cool. Rich Swann was super cool. It was a whole weekend that was pretty sweet, and that's the purpose of it was to help Victor and Lady Frost have a great media weekend and not have to worry about certain things and save their money and walk away with as much as they could. And then in that process, got to go to some free shows, and I got to check out some cool things and meet some cool people in the process. So, but I mean, again, Candace Spaceman, I think the independents are a lot different. Really, they understand the importance of fans. With WWE, you're in a bubble, in a shell. I'm going to give you guys an example. So Saturday, right? Saturday, the show is wrapped up. WrestleCon is done. Wrestlers are trying to bug out as fast as they can. There's a special needs kids upstairs, and they had come late. And this guy's running around, and he sees Rich Swann and Lady Frost and says, "Hey, I've got this kid upstairs. He's special needs. Are you guys on the clock? Are y'all done?" I'm like, "No, we're getting ready to leave." And he goes, well, he's special needs. He loves Impact. It's his favorite show. Would you guys be willing to come up and take a picture with him? Because they're trying to close everything down. The Impact shop's trying to close. Everything's closing. And they're like, "Hell yeah, let's go." So Swan and Frost, we're getting ready to leave. And like, go do it. So they run up and they take pictures with this kid who is just ecstatic, over the moon to meet them and take pictures with them. And like, literally, that's what we talked about, going from the car to the, from the venue to the car and all that kind of stuff, was a 20-minute conversation about that's why they do what they do. They love the fans and what they can do. And so, so you're not going to read that story anywhere that they as WrestleCon shutting down and they're trying to leave, they stopped to take time for this kid to take pictures and interact with him and sign his merch and do whatever. That you're not going to read that anywhere. That these guys are doing stuff like that for people, and that's what I loved about it. Seeing the genuine, like granted, you got people. I mean, I was walking around 2 days with some cool fucking hats, and you got the guys who are like, "Hey, cool hat, man," because they want you to engage, they want to bring you over, and they want you to like interact with their stuff. And like, we met Danhausen, and Jacob got his signature and everything, and I forgot to take the fucking picture. But like, and then people were like, "Oh," because I mentioned Jacob has a Wall of Fame, and he puts all of his pictures up, and this guy's like, "Oh, Wall of Fame, well, you need men on the mission," and I was like, oh, "Okay, yeah, maybe," and it's like, man, don't be, I get it. You're trying to like, sell your shit or whatever, but it's different. So I just, I enjoyed the weekend. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was great to see everything going on. So
at least you kind of got to make the most of it, though. That's
and that was the fun part. That was the fun part, is like doing the stuff, and you have the WrestleCon and people in their cell mode, and then we're going to the hotel bar, and then like when people are real people, and that's when it became very, very cool and open. And then like we're just hanging out, outside of the Impact venue or right in the back wall, meeting a bunch of cool people. Just it was very, very cool to like just hang out and watch and see what's going on. So and just seeing how people operate. So if you ever get a chance to do a WrestleMania, WrestleCon, if you can, here's the thing, be cool and be Owen, like do what Owen Hart did, like be that fan who will host a wrestler. And I'm telling you, you're gonna get to do some things that you never really would have thought you got to do. And just be cool, be chill. And it'll get you access to things that you may or may not know that you would have had access to. So, that's kind of the thing.
I think that's a good note to close this off on.
Yeah. In other words, as Shane and I said, as Victor and I said, Savage Gentleman, don't be a dick. Just absolutely. Don't be a dick. Cool. And then the other thing we said the whole weekend, which was our theme, to quote Minoru Suzuki, "I speak little English, but fuck you." So, from the tapings that he did in August, I told him about that, and he was like, That's great. Okay, so that was our weekend. Every now and then something would happen, and we would just go, I speak a little English, but fuck you. So, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much for listening. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you as always. I mean, it's flying by the seat of pants. I'm literally jumping off this and going away again to do this compared shit. So I literally don't have a spare minute this afternoon, unfortunately, which is a bit of a pain. I would have spent more time on this, but thank you, John, for talking to me. If you liked what you listened to, why don't you get in touch with us? You can support us in many different ways. You can get in touch with us on Twitter at SmackAttackHMG. You can email us directly, smackattackhammymedia@gmail.com. You'll find us on the Hammy Media discussion group on Facebook with all your great content, news, stories, discussion points, pick'ems, live chats for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, all that stuff. It's all there. Jump on there. If you want to support us monetarily, you can go to the Hammy Media group on channelattitude.com. It only costs less than a cup of coffee to subscribe to us, and you get so much great content like Smack Attack on audio form, the Next Level podcast, Light the Fuse, Monday Locker Room, Friday Locker Room, Dem 11 boys, I think, kicking about in there somewhere as well. There's just so much content, so get involved and follow us and support us that way. If you want some free audio content for your ears, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts from, Spotify, Apple, Podbean, wherever, the Hammy Media affiliates channel. Search for Hammy Media Group. You'll find out so much great content like the NFL Star Wars podcast, Suck My Balls South Park podcast, the Ridiculously Random podcast, the Academy Star Trek podcast that we're hoping to get back pretty soon, so keep an eye out for that, and more. So support us as much as you can. I've got through that as quickly as possible for you. I really do have to dash, but thank you so much for everyone who's in the live chat. Been lively as always. We'll be back strong as ever next week. Thank you, John. Always a pleasure to chat to you, my man. It's great having you back on, and we will be back next week. Can SmackDown be better than this week? It can only get better, or at the very least get more interesting. There's only one way to find out if it does, and that's by joining us next week for another edition of the Smack Attack. Cheerio!